Okay, now we are going to introduce the machinery cost. Okay, this is the last chapter of chapter 10. Okay, when we come to the machinery cost, you have to know that every owned machine, will come with cost. Okay, and it's very important for, especially for the managers, how to know how to calculate the cost. And by knowing your cost, you are making a good choices, okay, when it come to the management, about how to acquire machinery, when to trade, and how much capacity to invest in reduce machinery costs. And all this required accurate estimation of cost of owning and operating farm machinery. And then each cost, you have to know that each cost is the machinery cost is categorized into two. The first one is fixed cost. Okay, the first one is fixed cost. Fixed cost will occur regardless of machine use. Okay, either you have 1 year machine, and then you only use for 1 hour per year, it is the same as you have 10 years of machine and you use it for 10 hours per day. Okay, the fixed cost is fixed in whatever stages of the age of the tractor. And then the second one is variable cost. Okay, and variable cost is an operating cost. This is equal to the operating cost, and it very largely, or it vary directly with the amount of machine use. And when you use the machine at its maximum capacity, and it's going to give you a very different cost to the machine compared to you use it with only 2 hours per day and so on. And the true value of some cost is basically not knowing until you sell again the tractor. And then the cost actually can be estimated by making a few assumptions about the machine life, the annual use, the fuel consumption, and also the labor prices for that machine. And these two costs, when we sum it together, okay, will produce the total cost. Okay, the total cost is equal to the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Okay, both will get the total cost, or in short form it is the total cost plus the fixed cost plus the variable cost. Okay. And this kind of cost can be represented by a graph, and you have to know that the graph is like this. Okay, this is the cost that you have to bear, and this is your machinery. And you have to know that when we call at a fixed cost, it means that there is no changes over the time. Okay, there is no changes over time, so the fixed cost will represent with the only one straight line. Okay, this is the fixed cost. And then we have another graph that represent the all variable cost, and this is the variable cost. And sum up with these two will produce the graph of the total cost. because it is the addition of the fixed cost at this point plus this point, then will produce this point. Okay, this is the what we call it as graph of the machinery cost. And you have to know that we have the machinery cost, and we have a few of the machinery costs. The first one is under the fixed cost. We call it as fixed cost. We have known as the ownership cost as well. Okay, ownership cost, and it will include the depreciation, okay, depreciation is susut nilai, and then it will produce also include the interest, or we call it as opportunity cost. The taxes that you have to pay, okay, like ownership taxes, insurance, and also housing facility. Housing facilities. Okay, this is the this cost is fixed every year. You have the exact amount that you have to pay when owning a machinery. Okay, and we call it as depreciation. Now we discuss about the depreciation. Okay, depreciation is cost resulting from wear, obsolescence, and age of the machine, and it will depends on the degree of mechanical wear. Where the value of a particular machine to be somewhat above or below the average value for similar machine when it is traded or sold. And you know how the degree of your mechanical wear when you trying to sold out your machinery. And then it also will depends on the introduction of new technology. Okay, and major design change because an older machine suddenly obsolete, causing a sharp decline when its remaining value. And then we go to the usage or unused. Okay, it also depends on the usage. Okay, the age used or unused. Okay, it's just like a car. Normally the car, when you want to sold out, you have to consider your mileage. Okay, how kilometer have how far your car have traveled, and it also same goes to the machinery, but machinery normally depends on how long, okay, in terms of working hours that your machinery was being used. And then it depends also on the accumulated usage. Operating hour. And depends also to the accumulated usage, the economic life, and salvage value. Okay, the economic life of machine is a number of years for which costs are to be estimated, and often it is less than the machine service life, because most farmers trade the machine for a different one before it completely worn out. And a good rule of thumb is to use an economic life age of 10 to 12 years. Okay, 10 to 12 years for you to change your machinery to a new one. And normally every machinery have a 15-year of lifetime, unless it is known that the machine will be traded sooner. And normally the salvage value is about 10% of purchase price. Okay, purchase price is the original price of the machine. Okay.